Howdy ho, y'all. We will be live for about 10-15 minutes till folks get up in here. And then we're going to be going to a radio stream. So y'all get your seats. Get your seats. On a Mexican radio. And then that can get poured down the drain. As I said before, click on the link, get your seats. This is a radio stream. Hey, Georgia. Welcome to, brother.
What up, amigo?
Not much. I'm set up a radio stream here pretty quick. I'm just waiting for everybody to go ahead and dogpile the StreamYard. And then I'll set up that radio stream and we'll go backstage and listen to some good music.
That'll work, man. Hell, I'm just chilling out anyways. I was just stopping in to see what's going on, man.
Well, last stream, I ended it out with taking my brother up to his house. And along the way, I found out that there's quite a bit of crazies out there right now on the road.
Yeah. Yeah, there is.
You know, I look at it as you ain't going to survive too damn long if you're driving around like you're a chicken with your head cut off.
Oh, I know. Hell, I don't even own a vehicle anymore, man. I had a couple old trucks and shit last year. I sold them because of the damn scamdemic, you know?
Yeah, I got to keep yourself burning somehow.
Yeah, well, I didn't know what was going to happen with the economy, so I said, hell, I better sell these things while I can get some cashola.
Hey, Jimbo, come on up in here, brother. We're doing the here, let me go ahead and oops. I think I did something wrong. Hang on a sec. I'll get you back up here.
Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah, Jimbo, come on up in here, brother. We're doing a radio stream, so it's not going to be live very long. Let's see here. Getting death threats on one of your little shorts, dude. If you're getting death threats, there are people to contact about that, and you should not let that lie. I'm just saying. There's somebody out there threatening my brother in arms, they're going to have a whole lot of fight on their hands. That's another thing I'm going to say. See, I love veterans. My granddaddy was a veteran. The only reason why I don't claim to be one is because I respect veterans so much, and being that I'm a Minuteman, I'm not legally allowed to, you know, I'd rather be on a righteous level. So, yeah, I'm starting some coffee up and getting the old radio stream ready, and I'm gonna see what we can do. Yeah, just jump up in here, and that's why I put the link in the in the description as well, because once we're on here, if there's more room, I'll bring you up.
Yo.
Ah, there you are.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to try signing in, see if that would change anything for me. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I was on with Dangerous last night, and then after Dangerous went off, we stayed in the room for about 2-3 hours.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning, Jim.
What up, Jim Bob?
Hey. No, I mean it's typical trolls. One of the things that brought me to this channel, Guardsman, is all the knowledge you have about YouTube as being, one of the first people here and everything. Look, I was a fan before I became a content creator. Some people don't know that. But like I was a huge fan of YouTube for like 2, maybe 3 years before I made my channel. So I made mine a little different, but the only problem is when you make a short, you can make a thumbnail and you can put a icon for your thumbnail the way I do all my videos, and it's there, but it doesn't prevent it from people seeing the video off glance. So you kind of have a chance to put yourself outside of the community that you're purposely trying to grow the way I'm trying to do it. I don't want to get too deep into it, but yeah, one of my videos got out. It wasn't a nice video, so it kind of,
Yeah, but that, regardless of whether it's a nice video or a mean video, or you just telling the truth as I normally see you do, it's all to do with the fact that they shouldn't be threatening you.
Well, and I know they're trolls because when the comment comes up, you don't see it. If you go in with if you have a second account, you don't see the comment there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you use 2 accounts, but
yeah,
my wife has an account, and so I'm like, all right, did this comment post? Did this comment post? And so you can see when people, like on her account, you can see when they're I don't know what to call them other than trolls or bots, but you can see where the comment only shows to me. It doesn't show to anyone outside of just me and them, but the comment looks public on my end. On my end, okay, I there's one comment, there's the one comment.
We get those a lot, like the one that has that freaking weird ass link I was telling you about. I actually checked with my brother. He looked at my account on his phone. He can't find any of my videos. He can't find nothing from me. And when he goes and he checks out my videos by typing them in and searching the video itself, he doesn't see the comments from these assholes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They have a way. I don't know how they're doing it. Either YouTube is censoring it, but YouTube still allows you, the content creator, to see the comment, which is crap. You know what I mean? So if you're going to censor it, just censor it.
Right.
I don't know if that's what's going on, or if they have some kind of trollish way of getting that comment in to where only you see it.
It's just another day in the neighborhood getting threatened by somebody.
That's one of the reasons why, not to threaten people, but that's one of the reasons why I put a lot of my Second Amendment on my channel when I can, or when I feel it's appropriate, because you can use your First Amendment here, but a death threat is a death threat, right?
Oh yeah,
exactly.
So, I know they could probably Google reverse image my home and find me. So one of the things I've been doing is trying to, as best I can, as in a foolish effort, but as best I can, make my home a base. And I think you know what I'm talking about, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
first thing I did, I was very proud of it. And Mama Bear Prepper, she did a video on talking about the front door getting kicked in. One of the first things I did with my home is I created a death tunnel where I put a gate outside of this entryway that is stucco wall. You have to go through this entryway now to get to my door, and it's about a good 10 feet. And there's no quiet way of getting through that gate. And then I put a camera right on the front of the gate. So anyone getting any close to it, what you were saying about grading the camera, that still needs to be done. But things like that, you know what I mean? And then obviously, so like the inside of my windows, I want to do interior shutters. Two reasons for that. One, I know it looks tacky. I know you can't really open your windows easily when you do it, but it keeps the house really, really cool. During the summer months, if you want to just close them on up, you can just close them on up. And then what it does is people that try to break in through your window don't know that's there. Okay, so like dumbasses, they break through the window or they get the screen off quietly, but now they're confronted with an obstacle that they don't get through quietly now. And that's kind of the point of all my entryways, and I'm doing it to all my other doors. All my other doors are getting these. I have 2 other doors. And they're getting a solid screen, a lock door screen, kind of where it's a screen and a door installed on them. And I'm getting that done soon too. So the death threats, they do bother me. They are serious. You can report them. I know there's a way to report them, and so I report people that leave porn links, pornographic links. I don't tolerate that, and I report people that if they use like a racial slur or something like that, I don't tolerate that. I think that we are misunderstood as anyone who's conservative due to politics now are misunderstood in general. That's why I like it when you break down militia, for example. You talking about militia. I love people that are militia. Let me tell you why. I consider myself out of the military, right? I'm retired basically. I'm done. But if we don't have militia, then even our own government gets to thinking funky thoughts.
Right. And
no, that is right. You know what I mean,
brother? To top that off, militiamen, unlike with the military, in the militia, you don't retire till you're 65, the same age that you retire as a civilian. So in all reality, you could be out of the military and not out of the militia.
Oh yeah, well, and I look at Portland, okay, and I look and I see, well, kind of to your point, I look in, okay, and I see Phoenix. I look at other places and I go, well, like if you know how big California and Arizona is, you know about all these other places. For example, Life, but also like Jerome and other places where, let's talk about Jerome for a second. There's a lot of bikers in Jerome.
Yep.
Jerome is a huge biker resort. If you go through the Route 66, you go about Arizona, you might want to stop at Jerome if you're a biker. Now, if Jerome were to be peacefully protested on, I don't see it happening because Jerome has militia, but there's also, I'm talking about this huge biker presence. And I guess my point is places need militias.
Yes.
Need not Hell's Angel bikers that are criminal organizations, but peaceful like there's military bikers that are they're similar to the Oath Keepers. They're an organization out here in Arizona, and I see them out there in Jerome. So
not a lot of people know this, but that's how the Hells Angels actually started.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know. I know that they are now considered a criminal organization. I don't know how they got their start.
They got their start as just a biker club. They just ride motorcycles and party together like they were, still in the military.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
mostly Marines.
Yeah, it was all veterans in the beginning, the bikers. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And so it's like when it comes down to it, I'm actually kind of a fan of the Hells Angels in that side. As far as that side of it is concerned. I'm not a big fan of the whole criminal aspect of it, but you know, I'll still call the Hell's Angels brother.
Oh yeah.
You betcha.
And I would say it's kind of like anything else. You have people that are in an organization that they represent that organization, but no one person represents the entire organization, and no one crime committed by one person represents that whole organization. Kind of like Jimmy Hoffa was convicted of a crime and went to jail, but the organization continued and had a new leader. You know, right. Even though he was the head of it and it was his organization, he built it. That's not how these things work. So kind of like the Hells Angels, I know that like that movie with Charlie Sheen is loosely based on a true story, but that's just one chapter and that's just one area. That's just here in Arizona. Like Hells Angels are all over America.
Mm-hmm.
I would say you got to look at the entire organization as the organization, but I didn't know about their beginning. That's interesting.
Yeah, the beginnings of the Hells Angels is in World War II. Actually, right before World War II and right afterwards, in the beginnings of all biker clubs, which was that they started off as veterans who were sick and tired of just sitting around the house, and so they'd get out on their old motorcycles that came back from overseas, and they just you know, ride around with each other and have fun and shoot the shit. You know, basically just good friends riding motorcycles. And that's where motocross also started. There's a beautiful bit of history as far as the Hells Angels are concerned. They had, when they made their biker club specifically, it was about trying to bring out the good in bad people. Believe it or don't, that's what it was all geared around. And then all the drugs and whatnot started. And
I look at it like when you look at any group, even like a government, for example, if you look at some of these governments that they peddle in narcotics or they peddle in trafficking children, right? Sometimes the government's explicitly involved, and what motivates them is the income, the money. They need it because they fundamentally don't have a sound way of recouping income without, you know, having to resort to crime. There's no, for example, I think, you know, if we talk about member dues for an organization, if the organization isn't doing things with those member dues, like even growing a garden to feed the members, so the members don't, you know, spend out of their pocket to eat their food. It's a very cheap way to feed them, right? Kind of like every army marches on its belly. So how are you going to feed us? And why are we paying into this if, you know, we don't get fed at a bare minimum? But I think that's what pushes them. That's all of them, whether it's a government, whether it's I'm thinking of that movie, Charlie Sheen's dad, Apocalypse Now, right? Where that rogue general's out there in Vietnam, right?
Yeah, buddy.
He goes rogue because the government's not taking care of him and his unit. He's out there in Vietnam and he's trying to survive, but he's losing too many men fighting this war, so his war changes.
Yeah.
I've gone rogue with the friggin' VA, dude. I don't want shit to do with them fucking people anymore, man.
I can't blame you, Billy.
So I'll touch on that. You know, the VA to me is personal. When I was at the Phoenix VA hospital, I was in there for something that was like gonna really F me up. But what pissed me off is there was a Native American in the corner, and I knew he was a Marine because what he was wearing, but I wasn't a Marine. But he was wearing something off of his shoulder that to me looked like a Marine insignia. It did not look Army at all. And he was sitting there in a bad shape. And okay, I was sitting there for a good while, and then he threw up. And I was like, all right. And someone with a real rude attitude was like, hey, that's the third time he's thrown up. Someone go help him. And I lost my shit. You know, I was like, the third time? He could be. Are you crazy? If he even threw up once, this is a hospital. Go fucking help him. You know.
Yeah.
One story of many that if you go to the VA, I always tell everyone that's our hospital. You know, and when I go in there, they hate me with my attitude, but I'm like, I always have my attitude when I go in there, always.
Oh yeah.
You gotta have an attitude to deal with them.
Yeah, if you go in there meek, or if you go in there kind, they're gonna take it as weakness. If you go in there smiling, you go in there treating them nice and like a decent person, I've done that. You get treated like shit. It doesn't matter about skin color. It doesn't matter about religion. It just matters about the fact that most of them are there to collect a paycheck and they don't really want to help a veteran. Helping a veteran is making them earn their paycheck. So why would they go out of their way to help a veteran, even though that's their fucking job at the VA?
Because you're supposed to fucking enjoy your job. I don't know why you'd get a job at the VA if you didn't want to help veterans.
Hey, when I go there, man, the only people I ever have problems with is the friggin' doctors, man. I get along with the nurses and everybody else. It's just the doctors there, man.
Yeah, the nurses tend to be better.
Yeah, the nurses are awesome. In Atlanta, as far as I can say, hell, they ain't never gave me a bit of shit. It's just these damn doctors trying to push dope on you, and I don't want the shit, man.
Or they give you crap about treatment, or even I ended up having to self-treat for several issues, and I had a new doctor, and I was like, we're not arguing. We went circles and circles. You guys don't know what you're talking about. You're practicing medicine. We're not practicing on me anymore. I have my own way of dealing with it. I do A, B, C, and D. I just need you to facilitate E. You kind of have to come at the doctors like, remind them that they're working for you, and you're there as a customer.
Yeah.
Think about it now.
Hey, I can't complain though. They paid for my back surgeries and all that shit, so I really ain't got shit to bitch about, I guess.
So, to hail back to what Billy Truth Be Told, I was going to say, yeah, brother, I don't mean to forget hill climbing. That's something that the Hells Angels did. I was just letting folks talk.
Hey, that hill climbing's some crazy shit, ain't it? They get on them bikes with them swing arms that are about 6 feet long. Yep.
Hails back to what they originally started as, and that's what they did. They would go and try and ride a motorcycle up a hill to see how high up they could get on that hill. A lot of these guys that were veterans from World War I and World War II, they could get pretty fucking far up the hill.
Oh yeah, shit. I had an old Honda Elsinore CR250 when I was a kid, and that damn thing would climb about anything. Old Honda 250, man. That thing would get done. Yeah.
They were doing it with Army Scouts.
Yeah, Triumphs and all that shit. BSAs.
Yeah. I'm like, I that's what trips me out. I was like, wait a minute. These fools was climbing fucking mountains with, U.S. Army issued fucking motorcycles back in fucking like 1941, 1945 area. So you got to imagine that they get onto anything with two wheels, they'll go right up the fucking side of the mountain.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll say, like, sometimes you try to give shit back to the Army, but sometimes they fuck shit up and you end up keeping it.
Yep.
I wouldn't blame them if they were like, hey, I still have this, and they were like, get out of here, the war's over. They have an attitude with you sometimes when the military's done with you, and you're like, but wait a second.
What shall I do with my rifle?
Well, see, that's about the only thing they really even care about. But ammo, you can pocket a lot of ammo, and not to say that I'm a thief. I'm just saying that you may have the ammo on you and not know it. All right, but more than ammunition, I'm talking about like mop gear. I'm talking about like sometimes they issue you what they call redundancy sets. Mm-hmm. So they'll give you like an additional mop set that you never open. It's in a bag somewhere, Well, then you end up getting deployed, so you end up having to like Connex all this shit or send it to your mom, and it's all in some duffel bag or it's all in some box, and then you know what I mean. You get home from your deployment, or you get home from Texas because you're doing something, and you know the army or the supply sergeant, they have to have the chain of custody. Well, sometimes these supply sergeants won't accept military equipment back if they don't have the paperwork that says that they are the person that gave it to you, or it was them in the unit or whatever. If they have no chain of custody documents, they'll say they don't want anything to do with it. And that happened to me. So I'm wondering if a lot of these, you know, World War II veterans, honest to God, weren't stealing any of these military vehicles or equipment, just had it. You know, after the war, the military was like, yeah, here you go, that's yours. Not necessarily that's yours, but we don't want it back, you know?
Well, there's a couple that were like that, and then there's several of these motorcycles were actually sold after the fact by the U.S. Army to help fund Korea. And let me see here. There was a lot of the rifles that the Marine Corps sold were used also to help fund Korea and Vietnam. So yeah, just because you got, you know, you came back or whatever, you didn't necessarily have to turn in that stuff. Depending on the situation, like you said.
Yeah, there's situations where even if you tried, they might, I don't know, dick around with you. Or someone was telling me that they know someone that was like the youngest person to enlist at like 16. It might have been during not World War II, but during the Korean War. But part of the story is that they've got, you know, the service rifle, the service uniform, and stuff like that. But similar story, the military just gave it. Was like, no, we don't have records of you being in the military.
Yeah, there's those ones too.
You know, I wanted to just say, talking about it makes me glad that we can talk about it. You know, too often we forget that we have a history of proud men that even at such a young age, when the world was at peril, they stood up. And I want to go full circle with the militia. I feel like that's where we're at here in America, where I'm not so worried about conflict on a global scale, the way that I see the military and the way I see the big powers and the chessboard on the world. We will do proxy warfare for a very long time. But I am very interested and intrigued in noticing domestic turbulence, domestic at home counter militia groups. Okay. These are groups that are counter to everything that you represent. If I were to take the opposite of what I've learned from the militia, from your channel and from other people and the National Guard, for example, I do see that opposition growing right here at home. That there is a mirror to you, and we need to be aware of it. The same way that I enjoy being, YouTube made me aware of you and your channel and what you talk about. Look, they're going to start having air guns. It's starting with frozen water bottles and shit, and it's going to go to air guns, and it's going to go to all kinds of IED.
They've already made the step to firearms.
Yeah.
So why not make the step to air guns, in my opinion? That's one of them things, you know. I'd rather that, you know, most of my who I could consider to be brothers in arms, you know, people who are constitutional. I would hope that y'all are picking up proper air guns, not just, you know, like the ones that you use for hunting and whatnot, or the ones that you use for planking in your backyard, but get some fucking real air guns. Like the one that I got, you know, that rifle that I've got. Have something that you can be silent and still be just as fucking deadly.
Yeah, I like them little CO2 pistols, you know, like I got that little Glock 17 looking thing or whatever the hell it is. And shit, it's only 20 shots, but I'll shoot you damn IL with that son of a bitch.
Well, my neighbor was showing me he's buying one of these 3D printed. I don't know what to call them. They're blocks, basically, like you're saying. That's what they look like.
Yeah.
And put it together. And he was showing me they're about $800. I don't know if I want to
Oh,
get
wow.
one.
Wow.
20% Glock? Or this?
Oh, that's yeah. See,
See, this
Hell
is an air rifle.
and what caliber is that?
This is in 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it doesn't shoot a 25 caliber pellet.
Yeah. Yeah, I got one of the, I got one of them 25s, a Dayson or a Doosan or whatever the hell it is.
Hot Sun?
Yeah, the break barrel type.
Now, what I was interested is you said you could change the projectile for your air rifle, so you could have like BBs, you could have something smaller. Could you have like I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, but you were saying something about that there's a tip that you can change out or something.
Jim, with this particular air rifle that I just showed you, you shoot these
Okay, yeah.
hollow points.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. You could fill those in or something too, right? With something
Yep.
like wax or something.
Yep. Because wax is what you use to flux lead. Don't know if anybody knew that, but when you're pouring lead into a mold, you flux it with wax. Regular old camel lead.
So what's that? Is it going to make it basically? It's going to make it silent.
Well, what
And
it
where-
does. Here, let me see if I can pop one of these out.
Why would you want to put the wax in there? I guess I missed that.
All right, it's kind of like a barrier blind bullet, but it's blind to the atmosphere. So, like this. This is what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You
filled it in.
fill in the cavity with some wax, and then you shape it into a little bit of a nub, a nipple nub. And what that does is it sheds all of the air around the outside of it instead of making that little parachute in the middle.
Right. Yeah, make it faster.
Not necessarily making them faster. What you're doing is you're making it so they don't slow down as fast.
Right.
So it's velocity because you'd have resistance. You're cutting away at the resistance that would be there. That's nice.
Cutting down air resistance, exactly.
Yeah, but like I said, I got the 3 break barrel air guns, 177, a 22, and a 25, and I like the 25. I mean the 22 the best out of the 3 of them.
Yeah, in a break barrel, the 22 is the best.
Yeah, I mean it just seems to be, as far as velocity and hitting impact, seems to be pretty good because the 25 is slow, but it's got more punch to it.
Yeah, like in most break barrels, a 25 caliber is moving at about 650 to 450 feet per second.
Yeah.
In the Magnum Springer break barrels, like what I got,
Right.
it's only moving at about 700 feet per second.
Right.
In this rifle, it's moving at 950 feet per second with just air.
Right.
So if you were to put a drop of WD-40 in there, it moves it up to moving about 1,500 feet per second. So a 1,500 feet per second projectile, 25 caliber, 55 grains. That's something right there.
Yeah, hell, I even got that little pump BB gun, pellet gun. You can put BBs or pellets in it and pump it up 10 times. I guarantee. Yeah, you don't want to get hit with that damn thing. I promise you.
No, I've been hit with one of those.
Yeah.
Like Son said, they'll mess your ass up.
Oh yeah, you pump that thing.
Yeah, red rubber.
You pump that thing up 10 times. It'll get it done. Believe me.
See, this is one that I actually utilize as my service rifle.
Yeah,
If I were to go and buy another air gun as a service rifle, the only one other than this that I would carry is the Hudson Blitz in 30 caliber. And there's a reason behind that. It's fully automatic or semi-automatic. It's a select fire weapon. And at the same time,
Somebody's got a neck off.
yeah, that would be Jim Bob. He's using the cell phone.
I have the Wi-Fi on. I'm sorry. Let me see if it's. You know what? Let me I think I might have the YouTube video open too. Hold on. That better, guys? Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's all good, man. Hell,
Better.
I do it all the time. Can't take me any damn where.
It also has to do with acoustics, where your cell phone microphone is pointed. The speaker's right next to it, and it projects sound outwards. So if you got something some way where it'll bounce back in, you'll get an echo.
Let me move back a little bit. That might be better.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good to go now, Jim Bob. Sounds all right.
Yeah.
It probably was. I had the app open on the other end. I'm sorry, guys.
Don't worry about
But
it.
yeah, one of the things I'm like a sword, junkie, and they don't allow you to have long blades in California, huh?
Yeah.
So that's how you get around all this is with the air guns, because there's no laws for the air guns.
Yeah, that's the only way I get around it, is that there are only 2 laws for air guns in the state of California. They cannot look like an exact replica, and if they do look like an exact replica, they cannot be brandished in public.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. So if you want to say, like, if a police officer were to shoot you, and you try to say,
like, for instance, I can have this rifle on my person. It actually doesn't look like a firearm because of 2 things. Large canister on the front end. And this is something that police are supposed to actually pick up on. The large canister on the front end and the inside of the handle grip. And the second part is that when you're dealing with an officer of the law, always have this thing open. The magazine out, the action open. And that's one of the nice things about this rifle, is it's actually made for that particular instance to happen. If it does happen, you've got it locked open.
Hell, if somebody didn't know better, that thing would scare the shit out of somebody.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is scramble your brains, even if it wasn't. But at the same time,
you definitely have to take pause. You'd have to.
Oh yeah.
You'd have to stop and like, all right, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the point, I guess, the point is, it wouldn't matter because it's lethal.
Exactly. That's my point. That's why, even though I can have this, I still have to follow handling rules in the state of California. I can have it on my person. I cannot have it loaded. And if it is loaded, it has to be locked in a backwards configuration to where you can see the bolt is open.
Yeah.
This is the forward point. That's the secondary point. The bolt is open. That's how you got to carry it in public. Now, inside your home, I normally do this. I'll decock it and keep it closed. That way I don't get dust and dirt and shit in it.
Right.
And it doesn't mess up the spring in there. But I can have this up to shoulder and rack faster than I think that a lot of people really counter for. I mean,
Oh yeah. Shit, anybody racks any damn thing around me, I'm going the other direction.
see, this is, like I said, this is just an air rifle. It's not a firearm. It can be misconstrued as a firearm, but not as one that you'd use in an assault situation. This would be a defensive or a long range firearm if it was a firearm. Since it's not a firearm, it would be a short range and defensive firearm.
Hey, this is my favorite one right here. This little Daisy Model 25.
That looks like a shotgun.
It's just a little BB gun, man.
Yep,
But it's got a pump on it.
exactly.
Hey, we'll put it this way. You do that shit in the middle of the night when somebody walks in your house,
They don't know the difference,
they don't know that's a fucking BB gun, dude.
right?
You know what I'm saying? You hear that shit at night in the middle of the night when it's quiet out. You ain't gonna want to fuck around. You're going the other direction, bro.
Let me put it this way. You hear this. that actually sounds like a bolt action.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It doesn't sound like much, but it sounds like enough to make you think,
Oh yeah. Shit.
oh, fuck.
Yeah, you hear that in the middle of the night, standing in the wrong house, man. You're going the other way.
I don't care who you are or how badass you think you are. There is a point in time where your mind recollects and goes, holy fuck, that can kill me.
I'll tell you what,
You know
bro.
what I do? I was just you say, you know what I do want to get installed that they're trying to push as cheap and effective and everything is Steam. To where when someone tries to break in through your door, this hot steam comes like right down on them.
Oh,
I don't know if
nice.
you've seen use it now where it's fog or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a fog. It's like pepper spray,
amazing.
but it's
But yeah,
a fogging
my bad,
machine.
not a steam. It just looked like a steam. It's like it comes out looking like it doesn't look like much, but it sprays them.
Yeah, it's like a pepper spray, but it's put through a fog machine.
That's funny as hell.
Yeah.
Man.
All right. It's trippier than fuck. It's like in basic training when they put the little pill on the rack and they light the thing under the pill. Same thing. You pour pepper juice into a fog machine and then it routes through little nozzles around the outside of the door.
That's
And
funny
if you
as
have
hell.
a little key fob thingy to disarm it, it'll literally spray your ass with tons of fucking just toxic
Dude,
smoke.
that's why I love coming to like a channel where I want to talk about things, but I know I'm not the expert because look, I knew someone was going to know what I was talking about. I'm over here talking about Steam. No, that's what I'm talking about because I've seen it on another YouTube channel where he had a short, but he didn't explain it like you were saying, but that's exactly what he had. He had like a little piping system around his door frame. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Blah, blah, blah. And then a little short, just like a 10, 15-second video. So he just like opens the door in the next like 2 seconds, and then you see the nozzles can be like spring loaded to where when the door's shut, they're up and away. So when the door opens, they come down and they're out towards facing out away from the door. And like Blaine was saying, you can use the fob though to where they stay up there. So it's like a double thing that he has on there to where it's like, okay, first you can have it to where they're unlocked and they will spring undrop or whatever, they'll unlock. And then you can have it to where it is then when it drops, it sprays out this fucking
That's funny as hell.
Yeah, and it will incapacitate and it'd make your house very safe. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you set it up right, there's very little harm to you or your family whatsoever because you're just like your alarm system at home. You're the one who's in charge if it's on or off.
Hey, that'd be some fun shit to have on camera. You got a camera focused on it, and you'd see them get fogged and shit. That'd be great, man.
Well, that'd make for good YouTube. I'd become famous because I'd have a channel.
Instant karma.
I'd show it getting installed, or I'd show it installing it, and then if it ever paid off, you know what I mean? 5 years or a year later,
hey, it's like the
$5 million video.
Hey, it's like the guys that make the boxes, and they put
the porch pirate glitter.
The porch pirates, man. They put CS gas and shit inside of the box, so when he opens the box up, CS gas comes out and shit.
Well, he's crafty. I saw the one where he did the bank paint on the glitter.
Yeah.
So it was like blue bank paint, but it was all mixed with glitter. So the mother suckers, so they had to pretty much go to the hospital to get it off.
Some funny shit, bro.
Hey, that's what you get feeling. On my property, I have signs up that says trespassers will be shot, no trespassing. I have a lot of signs up that pretty much let you know how I feel about you trespassing on my property. And then I have cameras up. So I've even had it to where like the mailman, I've seen it on my camera on replay where the mailman is like kind of hesitant to go on my property. And then I've seen it where like the other mailman is like walking across, no problems. He don't give a shit. It's like, kind of because he sees the signs too. And he's like, fuck you. Don't, kind of attitude. And just funny because you can see it on replay, but I do want to get my cameras graded. That's cool. Something that I'm going to like look on YouTube how to do.
It's cool
How do you
for,
break?
when mailmen do that, because, you got to have a mailman with a set of balls. Like, I got to do my fucking job. This is my job. I do the post sort of thing. It's good to have a mailman like that. It's not good to have city folk like that.
Well, it's even like, yeah, I could tell his attitude's like, look, I'm here to do my job. Fuck your signs.
Yeah. That's a whole different fucking story, dude. I'm all about that. Like, you're a mailman, you've got every absolute right to walk right up to the front door without being harassed. But beyond being a mailman or, a package delivery or something like that, you walk up to somebody's door, you better expect to get some sort of holy fuck, I mean,
Well,
if you're supposed to be there.
if you're there to do business, you're there to do business. But I've seen it where people come up to my property and like they have their dogs and they're walking their dogs, and like my neighbor sign up that has like a dog and no dog poop and a little X through it or whatever, a circle and a line, and a little like thing that reads, dog poop does this to water and has bacteria and viruses. Well, I've seen it where I've literally been out there smoking and people will walk right up to that sign, let their dog shit right at that sign. And then I've seen it where people will be walking with their dog. Their dog will kind of get on my property. The owner will kind of look over, see my cameras on, see my signs, and then grab the dog and walk away. So it does work as a minor deterrent depending on the situation and the individual. But it is funny to see it all on replay. It's like watching your own YouTube videos, homemade entertainment, right? Well, I love it when people take their dogs to my neighbor's yard and just let them shit right there in front of that sign. They don't care. They don't care you put that sign up. I wish we had people that were more respectful in our neighborhood, but it is what it is, That's why I got my signs up. That's why I put them up saying, I don't want any trespassing because I don't.
All right. So, last call for alcohol. If you ain't up in the stream now, too fucking bad. We're going dark in just about like a couple minutes here. If you are previously in the stream or if you're watching the stream after the fact and it's been only, an hour, come on up in. The link is down in the description below. And thank you very much for coming by.